I liked him very much, but he was grumpy in the mornings until he got his column done. And the whole picture company had to sit around and wait and have a Coca-Cola or a drink of some sort or smoke a cigarette and just wait till he got his column done. And then he'd brighten up and be fine. But up to that moment, he would be grumpy and grouchy and not want to be bothered, which is understandable. Try and be funny every day in a column. And he had a lot of friends come over in the afternoon. They'd play games, badminton, and different sort of a battledore and shuttlecock game that my father invented called Doug. And then they'd go in and have a Turkish bath and swim in a pool, and then they'd sit around and talk after that. And Chaplin would come over for those get-togethers in the afternoon, sometime about once or twice a week. He was a friend of mine, and he used to get me a seat on the 50-yard line when USC played, and he was on the team of USC. So part of my repayment was give him a job once in a while in a movie. And so the first job he ever given was when I was supposed to be a boxer and tying on the gloves, and he came by and patted me on the back and said something, I forget what it was, "You okay, boss?" And I said, I'm okay, yes. And that's the first line he ever got. He got $10 for saying, "Are you okay, boss?" That was the beginning of John Wayne's career. Well, I was offered the part of Rupert of Hentzau, and I'd been lucky enough to be a star. That is, my name over the title, which is a technical explanation of star. And this meant being demoted because Ronald Colman was the star, and I would be down somewhere down the bottom. My father said, "Don't worry, that part is one of the best parts ever written." He said, "It's so good that Lassie the dog could play the part and walk away with the whole thing." So that talked me into it. He said, "The next best thing is put your name at the bottom of the title." You'll notice my father always put his own name at the bottom of the titles. So we did that, and it seemed to come off all right. Yes, Cary Grant came and said, "We have an idea, George Stevens and me, of doing Gunga Din, the story of Gunga Din, but basing it on Kipling's Soldiers 3 and sort of mixing the two stories together." And he started telling me about it, and it sounded very exciting, very interesting indeed. And I said, "Well, that's fine. Well, which part do you want me to play? Which one are you talking about me for?" So "We don't care. We'll toss a coin." So George Stevens tossed a coin, and Cary took heads, and I took tails, or the other way around, I forget. And that's how we happened to play the parts we did in Gunga Din. Well, I met him, I suppose, as a boy, because he used to play with his sons in the Central Park. We all were boys together, playing baseball and catch football and so forth in Central Park. And I got to know the family that way, originally. If you knew him, no wonder that he ran for president. You could run 100 times and always win, it seemed to me, because he had such charm and persuasiveness. I think because he thought that I could negotiate on certain secret matters and not be suspected. I was sent down there for the public to think I was going down on cultural relations. In actual fact, I was negotiating for naval bases in the event we went into the war. And that was my real job, was negotiating the naval bases. Well, I'm full of scars and broken bones. Got torn cartilage in this knee, which still bothers me. Got in Gunga Din. I got big torn muscle in this thigh. The remnants of 2 broken ribs. Every finger in both hands broken at one time or another. All from movies. Yes, 6 years in the war, never got a scratch.
Then all of your wounds were from the film?
All from the films, yeah.